Test 1 2. Test 1 2. It's been a while. It has been a while. Cold out. Cold in this room that I'm in. Wait, what am I even doing? Let's get into this video. Okay, so Nicholas Shirley, this man is operating in good faith, right? I mean, look at these eyes. These are the eyes of a trustworthy person. Take a look at his Instagram. Oh man, wait, what are his stories? My name is Nick Shirley, and I approve this message. So, okay, this is pretty good. Dude, I love getting into, like, you know, the background or the stuff around the meat of the content before we actually get into it, because it just exposes these people for being grifters. Like, what is this? They're supposedly trying to root out fraud in the state of Minnesota, right? That's what this guy and his weird grandpa-ass person, his caretaker, that's what they're supposedly trying to do. And they're selling merch about it. They're selling merch. Also, like, this isn't a real investigation of fraud, okay? Like, we'll see that this is happening. This is just another conservative YouTuber that's trying to essentially, like, use hatred against minority groups in order to enrich himself. Whether that's getting attention online or getting actual money through this, you know, it's all the same type of shit. Yeah, this is a new background. I don't know, guys. I've been having difficulty streaming. I love doing it. It's just been kind of hard to do. It's been pretty busy with the holidays, but I'm happy to be back here, so I wanted to drop this shit. Also, we need to talk about doing some IRL streams, because yeah, shit. My head is being cut off by this. We need to talk about doing some IRL streams, because, like, I'm probably about 15 minutes away from this leering center that Nicholas Shirley is doing. So we need to, like, consider doing this. I don't know if this guy's based in Minnesota or if he just went there to because he saw it as an opportunity to use the racism that conservatives are having against Somalis in Minnesota right now. Yeah, I need to get into some of this shit, but I even heard, like, an NPR story talking about this. So let's take a look at his Instagram. What is this? Because fraudsters want to kill him for telling the truth, he reveals he's facing serious threats after exposing billions in alleged Minnesota fraud. Dude, this is completely ridiculous. You can't say, like, I'm exposing fraud by going to, I mean, we'll get into it, but he's going to daycare centers and saying, show me the children, and then when they're not letting him in, he's saying that it's full of fraud, right? Okay, so let's just get into this. Nick Shirley.
Hello, we'd like to ask,
I like how he has this little stinger to get people interested at the beginning, right?
where the money's going. What do you guys think about the fraud? That's
Literally trying to, like, rip open the door at a daycare facility.
We'd like to ask, where the money's going. What do you guys
Bro, he's literally trying to rip open the door at a daycare facility. Oh my
think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
I don't think anybody is enabling fraud to happen.
Hold Governor Walz accountable for this.
What was this money spent on?
yelling in Somalian.
1.26 million. What was that money spent on? There aren't any kids.
Answer the question. Are there children? There's no children inside this building.
Potentially the largest fraud scandal in U.S. history is taking place in Minnesota as
So look, there have been a series of frauds happening. Specifically, the big one was the Feeding Our Future soda. I don't know why I did. Feeding Our Future founder Amy Bach. This is an insane case too, because, like, they stole billions of dollars, and what was it, billions or just hundreds of millions? She stole, like, at least hundreds of millions of dollars. And then the people that were tried for it tried to bribe a juror for like $1 million. And so it's like they're dropping off millions of dollars worth of money in order to bribe the jurors, which is another insane aspect, another fold to it. Okay, so this is the big, and this is my whole thing with fraud. If you want to talk about fraud, fine. You're not going to find fraud by like harassing the places that you think the fraud is taking place at. Like, you actually need to get a legal basis to investigate it, like a warrant. If you want to go in and check it out, you're gonna, I don't know, if it's like an illegal thing, you're gonna need a warrant to check it out, or you're gonna have to work with some kind of like supervisory body in order to come in and actually do a thorough investigation. You can't just point to a door and say, oh my god, look, this door is blacked out. That means that there's fraud going on here. Like, this is complete bullshit what this guy's doing. So I love how right-wingers are calling this some kind of investigation and how they're revealing a massive cover-up when it's really just white people, like racist white people, harassing Somalis in Minnesota. The ringleader of what authorities called the largest pandemic fraud case in the U.S. has been ordered to forfeit more than $5 million. Feeding Our Future founder Amy Bach, a white woman, by the way, was found guilty in March on multiple criminal counts, including conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to commit federal programs bribery. She's not yet been sentenced. A court order issued Tuesday demands Bach forfeit about $5.2 million. He was also ordered to forfeit clothes, electronics, and a Porsche. Jesus Christ, dude. Dozens of people have been convicted in connection with Feeding Our Future. Authorities said Bach and others stole nearly $250 million intended to feed hungry children. Okay, so hundreds of millions, not $1 billion, but where are these allegations coming from? We need to follow this up. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services said it has frozen federal child care funding for the state. In response, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz on social media said the state has spent years cracking down on fraudsters and accused President Trump of politicizing the issue to defund the programs that help Minnesotans. So this is something that I think is really funny, because this is something you actually hear a lot from conservatives, where they say, oh, well, we can't trust the system because the system has been proven wrong multiple times, right? You hear this a lot in regards to science. We can't trust COVID vaccines because it's like science has proven that some vaccines can cause dangerous side effects, right? But it's like, okay, if you don't trust science to get you to a good spot and get you to an accurate reading of reality, then what are you going to trust to disprove science? Like, the only thing that can disprove science is better, more accurate science. So, and it's the same with this. It's like, if you're trying to say that Minnesota is making fraudulent claims or like paying out money to fraudulent companies, the only reason you know this is because the state of Minnesota was cracking down on the fraud that they discovered. So it's like, you can't cut funding from Minnesota when Minnesota's the one that's actually exposing the fraud and actually prosecuting the fraudsters. It doesn't really make any sense. This is 100%. Like, this is another example of it really is just like right-wing terrorism, and you're seeing the playbook here, right? You see right-wingers getting into a fuss about something, harassing people, saying that this is an issue when it's not really an issue. Like, there has been fraud due to public-private partnerships, the thing that Ezra Klein wants. Once again, public-private partnerships are just worse than the government doing things by themselves. There has been fraud discovered in Minnesota, and what are these people doing? What are these right-wing provocateurs doing? They are using it to say that, like, to target a Somali community, to also target like a democratic state, right? And then what is happening? Then the actual Republican Party steps in and is like, yeah, this is like a bad thing, and we're going to make it even worse by, I don't know, freezing funding for child for childcare. That's what they're doing, because that's going to solve a bunch of things, right? Instead of doing an actual investigation, because the investigation wouldn't show any kind of fraud, they're just blanketly shutting off funding. Okay, anyway, let's get into also like the biggest story of fraud, the Feeding Our Future case, was not masterminded by a Somali. It was a white woman who was like the driving force behind it. Okay, let's what is this? CBS News is talking about this?
The state gets about 185 of your top stories this morning. We're following major developments in Minnesota's fraud crisis, specifically related to child care. Here's the latest.
We believe the state of Minnesota has allowed scammers and fake daycares to siphon millions of taxpayer dollars over the past decade.
This is so funny too, because if you are the federal government saying that the state of Minnesota is letting people scam the federal government, it's like you are being scammed then. What do you mean the state of Minnesota is allowing people to scam you? You're the one being scammed. Why don't you take responsibility also, rather than like blaming Minnesota for it?
The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services says it's freezing child care funds for Minnesota after a YouTuber claimed.
Dude, it's crazy. Like, it's just one guy making up a bunch of lies and harassing places. And they're like, oh, yeah, well, we're going to just not give Minnesota any kind of childcare funds.
To uncover fraudulent centers in a viral video. The state gets about $185 million in federal funds each year. The HHS deputy secretary says he's demanded Minnesota Governor Tim Walz audit the centers featured in that video. The governor responded on X saying, quote, "This is Trump's long game. We've spent years cracking down on fraudsters. It's a serious issue, but this has been his plan all along. He's politicizing the issue to defund programs that help."
One white guy. Yeah, that's true. Oh, one white guy made fun of, like, harassed some Somali people in Minnesota. So we're going to, like, not even look into his claims, right? Just shut down the funding immediately and then be like, oh, well, you should audit these places. All of these, I'm pretty sure all of these places have been audited before. But yeah, this is what we're doing today. We're getting into this.
Minnesotans.
Some of the featured child care centers are now firing back. This one says footage from their security cameras proves kids were present when the YouTuber stopped by. Our Connor White went there to take a closer look.
You want to make ready for kindergarten.
This is ABC Learning Center in Minneapolis.
They have to learn ABC and numbers.
Director Ahmed Hassan gave WCCO a tour after finding his daycare in the national spotlight.
All right, we've arrived to ABC Learning Center.
In a now viral video, right-wing YouTuber Nick Shirley claims nearly a dozen daycare centers in Minnesota are taking public funds but not providing a service. He says ABC Learning Center is one of them, knocking on the door in mid-December.
I would like to check a child in the daycare.
Hassan says his employee didn't respond because Shirley was in a group of about 8 people and his staff were
Jesus Christ, dude. It's a group of 8 people going into a daycare center in the middle of the day. And they're like, yeah, open up, let us in. Holy shit. Seriously. Especially at a time when Somali Americans have been targeted by ICE, right? When they've been the target of hatred and harassment for the past like month and a half from the literal top of the government, the president of the United States calling them trash people. And they're expected to like, what? Open the door and like lay out a red carpet, let this guy play and film children.
Concerned about recent ICE activity.
Is this daycare committing fraud?
No, we're not committing fraud.
Hassan showed us security footage from the same day Shirley was here. According to the timestamps in the videos, this woman takes a young child into the center at around 9 a.m. that day, about 3 hours before Shirley arrives at the door closer to the street. Within the hour after Shirley leaves, a woman arrives at the other door with a stroller. A larger family heads inside a few hours later. Tuesday afternoon, WCCO found at least a dozen children at ABC Learning Center, which is licensed with the state. Records show Minnesota officials last visited the daycare in November, noting some corrected and ongoing violations related to day-to-day operations, but no record of fraud.
What did I do?
Wait, so what did they say? They've already been investigated?
Stamps in the videos. This This woman takes a young child into the center at around 9 a.m. that day, about 3 hours before Shirley arrives at the door closer to the street. Within the hour after Shirley leaves, a woman arrives at the other door with a stroller. A larger family heads inside a few hours later. Tuesday afternoon, WCCO found at least a dozen children at ABC Learning Center, which is licensed with the state. Records show Minnesota officials last visited the daycare in November, noting some corrected and
So officials that work with licensing the Center for Childcare visited it a month ago, right? Like what, 30 days, 20 days before Nick Shirley showed up?
ongoing violations related to day-to-day operations, but no record of fraud.
What did I do? I'm just a typical human being who wants to live and do the right thing. I have kids to feed.
Umi Hassan, the daycare's current owner, believes these latest fraud accusations are political. Both she and Hassan are Somali Americans.
We pay our taxes. We do whatever we can to be a law-abiding citizen.
Bro, just like think about the amount of fraud that takes place with like the billionaires in this country, like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, all of the corruption that they're doing, all of the fake promises that they make and then break immediately, all of the subsidies they're getting from the government for nothing other than like kissing Trump's ass. And these are the people that the conservatives decide to harass because, you know, it's not enough to drain the swamp. They forgot about that. Like, they don't care about that anymore. Now what they need to do is make sure that Somali people and other immigrant communities feel like they're unwelcome in the state. That's what the big bad that they're trying to attack now is, right?
At the same time, when one Somali does something wrong, we all get collective punishment.
With Shirley's video now approaching 2.
Yep, when one Somali does something wrong, we all get collective punishment, and it's 100% not the same for white people.
2.3 million views on YouTube alone. They say they are getting non-stop phone calls harassing them.
I was looking for a place for my granddaughter.
With many of those calls attached to out-of-state phone numbers.
They normally say, knock, knock, we're gonna come. You're gonna arrest.
And this is the point of the video, right? The point of the video is to get these people that he highlighted, and by extension, all other Somali Americans and other Americans that don't fit the white supremacist view of what an American should be, to get all of these people harassed, to make them feel uncomfortable in their own fucking neighborhood. It's absolutely disgusting. Like, but this is the playbook. This is a conservative who's not really licensed. He's not licensed by the state at all. He doesn't have a job working for the state, but he's doing the ideology of the fascist government, and then the fascist government backs him up. So he does illegal harassment and just makes spurious claims. As a result, the people he's been harassing and targeting, they get harassed, they get bullied, they feel like they don't want to be in this country any longer, and the federal government, the fascist federal government, will back him up 100% of the way.
You know, something like that.
Connor White, WCCO News.
Hassan there says they turned over attendance records to comply with the Department of Homeland Security request, and they're now waiting to hear back. CBS News is reviewing.
But once again, this administration is not concerned with finding the truth about things. That's why they're not doing an investigation. That's why they didn't simply ask for the records of attendance or send in an inspector and, I don't know, like watch them for a week. They are concerned about enforcing white supremacy. That's why they are immediately cutting child care funding for the state of Minnesota, and why they are continuing to attack Somali Americans.
Records related to the same daycares. All but 2 have active licenses.
And while the active places have violations related to safety or staff training, there is no recorded evidence of fraud. Another facility highlighted in the YouTube video was Quality Learning Center. The people operating it would not speak with us, but we did talk to a mother dropping off her kids.
I take my kids here, 2 o'clock to 10. Yeah, there's a lot of kids inside.
We spoke with another woman who...
Like, dude, this is so fucking stupid. This is your fraud? Finding out if there's kids inside? You can do an actual investigation into this. You can talk to the state who's in charge of giving these people funds and does audits on them. You can do all of this shit. Like, This is so fucking dumb. One guy walks up in the middle of the day when no one's dropping off their kids or picking them up, doesn't see kids outside and says that there's no kids. Then another person walks up and is like talking to the mom and she's like, yeah, the fuck you talking about? There's a lot of kids inside. Like, this is so fucking stupid. Dude, there's ways to get oh my God, this is really the worst part of the internet right now. No one knows how to understand truth. They don't know how to get an accurate reflection of reality into their brains. So they see a guy and he's like, this is fraud. Look, there's no kids. Like, there's no object permanence. If you get convinced by a guy saying, this is fraud, there's no kids, you could also get convinced by someone saying, yeah, there are kids there, right? And she would have more information about that because she has actually been into the fucking center. She doesn't walk up with like a goon squad and demands to get in while like grabbing the door handles and trying to yank it open. Holy shit.
Says she owns the building that houses the daycare. She says they've been operating there since 2017.
And these allegations of fraud are having real life consequences. Take a look. This child care facility says it's dealing with the fallout of fraud allegations. The Nokomis Daycare Center in Minneapolis says vandals did extensive damage there overnight yesterday.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So you have the double whammy from the conservatives, right? You have the jackbooted thugs that are doing terrorism against the places while also the government is cutting off funding to these places. Good job. Good job. Really walking in the footsteps of Nazi Germany here.
They believe divisive and hateful rhetoric toward the Somali community is to blame. We're expecting to learn more details later today.
Federal agents are conducting a, quote, massive operation in Minneapolis right now. The Department of Homeland Security has posted these videos of agents going door.
Also, if you walk around Minneapolis, it's such a fucking joy. Every place has a no ICE allowed. No, ICE is not welcome here sticker
door to door at suspected fraud sites. The daycare investigation represents a new front in Minnesota's fraud fight.
Dude, so we have ICE now enforcing fraud? That's what they're doing. They're doing fraud investigations. That's what ICE is doing.
Represents a new front in Minnesota's fraud fight. More than 50 people have been convicted so far in the $250 million COVID-era scheme involving Feeding Our Future. Prosecutors believe fraud in 14 state Medicaid service programs could total up to $9 billion.
And new this morning, the ringleader of the Feeding Our Future scheme is being ordered to pay up for the crimes.
Yeah, we already covered this. The ringleader of the Feeding Our Future scheme. She's being ordered to pay up. I heard, yeah, well, let's look really quick before we get into this. I heard something on NPR. Let's just look it up. Fraud. NPR fraud. NPR News.
A federal funding freeze for daycare centers leaves a lot of Minnesota families with questions. The Deputy Secretary of Health and Human Services says yesterday's move to freeze funding to taxpayer-funded child daycare centers nationwide is in response to, quote, blatant fraud in Minnesota. Governor Walz says his administration has, quote, spent years cracking down on fraudsters and alleges that President Trump is politicizing the issue in order to defund programs that help Minnesotans. Claire Sanford is Government Relations Chair on the Minnesota Child Care Association board. Claire's on the line with us. Good morning. Thanks for taking the time.
You're so welcome. Good morning.
As I mentioned, a lot of questions here. Are all daycare centers affected by this move by the Trump administration?
That is yet unclear. They very well may be. Most of what is being talked about is the Child Care Assistance Program, which is a federal funding stream that helps support low-income working families to access child care. And not all providers in Minnesota are registered with the state to accept child care assistance. So that's one of the most immediate effects, is how this will affect child care assistance. But the grants they are talking about freezing to the state of Minnesota is something that supports child care far beyond only child care assistance. For example, it also funds our state licensing system, the system that allows state and county regulators to show up in programs to verify that children are truly being served and that providers are following the law.
Bro, you can't make this fucking shit up. The Trump administration, they see that there's people saying there's fraud, right? What do? They cut off money to the people that check to make sure that there's no fraud. Holy fuck, dude. 500 IQ point move right there. God damn. Only the geniuses at the Trump administration could make it harder to investigate fraud as the way to fight against fraud.
That is something that affects.
I mean, look, there's one thing to be said about them being inept. There's another thing to be said about the fact that they simply don't give a fuck about finding if there's actually fraud or not. They just don't care. So yeah, I feigned surprise at their ignorance, but it goes completely in line with what I've been saying this entire time. They don't care if there's fraud. The fact that people think there's fraud, that's what they want to maintain. And so in order to keep up the charade that people think there's fraud, they cut funding to the daycare programs in Minnesota. That's what they're doing.
All providers, whether or not they accept child care assistance. So until we get more clarity on exactly how much of that grant, if it's the entire grant or only part of it, intends to be frozen, we're not sure just how universal the effects could be, but they do stand to be universal in several ways.
So we really don't know how many families could be affected.
Not yet. We do know numbers on the number of families that use child care assistance specifically. That supports about 30,000 children per month in every county across Minnesota. So we do know immediate effects for those 30,000 children, but beyond that, we're not sure, again, because we're not sure if the other things funded by the grant, like licensing, will also be affected.
The 30,000 children immediately are going to have their daycare be put in jeopardy because of this. Just this fucking asshole that is leading this harassment. I mean, also the Trump administration's fascism, but yeah, specifically because of that guy. Dude, how does one white boy in this country have this much power? Goddamn, can we get a Democratic president that is this responsive to, or I guess Democratic administration that is this responsive to Democratic or leftist or even liberal social media influencers? Dude, these people have nothing, and so when there's like a glimmer of, oh my god, this might actually be popular, they hop onto it like a goddamn tick in tall grass, smelling a pig as it walks by. Like, they have nothing going on. They're not doing a single goddamn thing, and so they're just trying to like jump onto any kind of bandwagon that they can smell a hint of being successful and popular.
You know, I thought I heard in some legislative hearing that child care assistance funding follows the family, not a provider. Is that right?
You are correct. A family applies to the county. They have to be income eligible. They have to be working or in school. There's already a built-in work requirement for CCAP. It's very arduous for the family.
Like, yeah, it's so crazy if you think about what happened in 2024 with that election cycle where Kamala Harris refused to acknowledge the most popular movement of our generation, which is the anti-Israel, pro-Palestine movement, refused to acknowledge it whatsoever, and subsequently lost the election. You got one fucking guy harassing like a group of Somalis, and the entire Trump administration is like, please, sir, what can we do to make this harassment more devastating for the people involved? Like, goddamn, the most, like, dude, the moral decay that this country is experiencing in real, like that I'm just witnessing in real time, is astounding.
Is to apply and be deemed eligible to receive child care assistance funding. Once they do, they then choose a provider of their choice to enroll their child. And once they enroll their child in a participating provider, then the funding goes directly to that provider on a reimbursement basis. They bill for the services that have already been provided to those children and families, and then are reimbursed with public funding. But that funding does follow the child. So if that family decides to leave a provider for any reason, the funding to that provider will immediately stop, and the funding will switch to whatever new provider a family chose.
So the funding is paid to the daycare center, but it's attached to the child, right? So this doesn't even make sense. If there's no children there, then what? They're just making up kids. So it's like an issue with false personas that they're making up. Like, they're just creating false identities that they've been getting paid for their entire lives of these fake people that they're making up. Like, on its face, after learning that, on its face, the idea that these daycare centers are doing any kind of fraud is absurd, because the payment is through the kid. It's attached to the kid, the name of the kid.
To enroll their child in.
I could see where some families would just be this morning wondering, what do I do next? I'm wondering, because tomorrow is January the 1st, do you know if funding has been allocated to Minnesota through January?
That is something I've been spending a lot of time trying to find out as well. There was one media report last night that federal child care assistance funding had been received by Minnesota through January, but after that, any funding would be affected by a freeze. I have not been able to verify that. I've been contacting various state officials because that's top of mind for providers and families right now, is how much federal child care funding might Minnesota already have received.
Oh, way, dude. I'm reading this article. The federal action follows a pattern by the Trump administration to take broad action without offering much information about the process. The child care pause was announced Tuesday evening in a social media post by top federal agency officials who cited the unverified YouTube video as the cause. I'm losing my mind. It's one thing to be like inspired by the video and to see the uproar that it's causing online and be like, we should do something that supports it. But they're directly citing it? They're directly citing the video? The child care payments won't go out without a justification and a receipt or photo evidence. What does this mean? What does this mean, dude? A receipt or photo evidence of like kids in daycare? So he wants the parents to take a photo of their kid in daycare every day and then like send it to the DH for the Homeland Security. He said he sent a demand letter to Minnesota Governor Tim Walz seeking data on providers and the reimbursements they've received. A nationwide fraud reporting hotline was also established at the department. Oh my God. Yeah, this is like when they changed the rules of FEMA. So who is it? Pam Bondi. She needs to like sign off. Who needed to sign off for FEMA funds of like over $100,000? Like to just like needlessly delay and make the gears of government run way less smoothly, right? To just throw a monkey wrench into the gears of government. That's the point of all of this shit. Okay, let's get into the video. Also they say that child care providers are getting harassed. They're getting harassing phone calls and unannounced visitors trying to videotape children inside care settings. Jesus fucking Christ. This is such a disgusting country. When people are showing up at programs, they can be perceived in a menacing way. They're unidentified. They want to videotape things that are going on. That is very unsettling for providers whose first job is to protect children and follow the rules to do that. Yeah. Okay. God damn it. State officials say they are looking into the allegations, but so far haven't substantiated the fraud claim. Oh, I'm so sick of this country. I'm so sick of this country that like one guy can harass Somalis and then everyone is like, yeah, actually Somalis do deserve to get murdered. And in order to say that, no, they shouldn't be killed and they should remain a member of this country, the government has like, fuck, I guess we'll look into it, even though they were just audited last month.
Hello, we'd like to ask where the money's going. What do you guys think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
I don't think anybody is enabling fraud to happen.
Hold Governor Walz accountable for this.
What was this money spent on?
Also, like, isn't it federal money that is being spent, right? These people are being paid by federal money, so shouldn't the federal government be held responsible for this?
1.26
Yelling in Somalian.
million. What was that money spent on? There aren't any kids.
Answer the question. Are there children? There's no children inside this building.
Potentially the largest fraud scandal in U.S. history is taking place in Minnesota.
What does it say? 461.94 Ultimate Home Health Services, 726.24 Home Care Service, $461.94. And it's every single day for like a month.
Minnesota, as literally billions of dollars have been funneled through Somali-ran fraudulent businesses.
Somali-ran fraudulent businesses. Oh my God! So of course, like, like the point. Just keep in mind as we're watching this video, the point of the video is the racism. That's the point. That is the beginning and end of this person's investigations.
So much fraud, it could actually almost replace the entire GDP of Somalia. These fraudsters have worked hand in hand with the Minnesota government as they enabled billions of dollars to be given to fraudulent businesses underneath welfare purposes.
Eating Our Future was ran and masterminded by a white lady. Like, no one ever mentions that when they're talking about the fraud, right? Because, stay with me, everyone. The point is the racism.
Some of this money eventually landed in the hands of terrorist groups in Somalia like the Al-Shabaab, and others enriched themselves all at the U.S. taxpayers' expense. And in this video we will...
Pretty rich showing a Tesla there when literally today the ringleader of the biggest fraud in Minnesota history was ordered to like give back her Porsche that she bought. Also, who is this guy? Is this just this guy's grandpa? They kind of look similar.
Break down all of the fraud from start to finish, from going to the fraudulent businesses and confronting the people who are making millions of dollars from the government. And we will also be confronting the incompetent government leaders who let this fraud happen. And to make this happen, I met up with a man who's been doing his own investigation for years now, as he has seen the fraud firsthand. His name is David. Let's get into this and be prepared to be...
You're not going to give his last name?
Shocked.
You're not going to give his last name? He's like, and I met up with this crazy bastard who's been harassing Somalis for years now. He's David. No kind of credentials or even a last name that I'm gonna give you. This is just David.
How deep is this fraud here inside of...
How deep is this fraud? That question, it's a nonsensical question. How deep is this fraud? That's like, I don't know, like a spy movie that was written for a 4-year-old. That's the type of question that's the level that this question is on. Like a 4-year-old's brain. How deep is the fraud? How deep does the fraud go? What do you mean? You're supposed to be doing fraud investigations, and this is how you started off with? The first real sentence of the video. How deep is this fraud here inside of Minnesota?
It is far worse than anybody can imagine. You heard it's 7 to 10 billion.
Then anybody, dude, just tell us the amount of money that is fraudulently been billed.
And maybe more.
Or keep in mind, they introduced this guy as doing fraud investigations in Minnesota for how many years?
Own investigation for years now.
Oh, 4 years. Okay, so let's say 2 years. Okay, I was gonna say like, oh, he's been fixated on this for 20 years, but he's probably just been doing it for like since 2024, right? He's been talking about fraud for years.
As he has seen the fraud firsthand.
They're in some kind of like library office building.
His name is David. Let's get into this and be prepared to be shocked. How deep is this fraud here inside of Minnesota?
It is far worse than anybody can imagine. You heard it's 7 to 10 billion and maybe more, and now the numbers have been revised and put out there publicly that they think it's more like 8 billion. How I got...
Okay. Okay. There's no sources. Why would there be sources? The numbers have been revised. How much fraud is in Minnesota? He said the numbers have been revised. Minnesota fraud. State agencies coordinate efforts. What is this? Fox 9. After $9 billion claims. It's literally just David. They're citing David. Oh my God. I'm in a circle jerk of false information. David citing them. They're citing David.
Fox Local is Fox 9. Streaming
this is like a nightmare where you're stuck in a loop in your dream and you can't escape it.
Fox Local.
I can't even shut off this ad. I can't even shut. Oh my God. I look up $9 billion. The first article that shows up about the $9 billion in fraud is citing David. God damn it, David. I gotta hand it to him. He outplayed me.
Thanks, Ian. We'll see you in just a bit. Our top story tonight, fraud is the reason for a new focus on coordination at Minnesota state agencies. But even as they highlight progress on prevention, the state's fraud problem is political fodder.
Yeah, our Corin Hoggard is at the Capitol for us tonight. And Corin, we already know the Walz administration is under heavy criticism.
Time, but although they've searchers are sharing information about vulnerability.
Oh my God. All right. Homeland Security investigates sites 2 days ago how fraud swamped. $9 billion is now the new estimate. Okay, by who? The lead prosecutor in the federal case? Prosecutor estimates $9 billion in Minnesota program fraud. Okay, so this is based off of nothing. Just some guy. What is this?
The lead federal prosecutor on a staggering new estimate of the total amount of fraud in Minnesota's social service programs, $9 billion, according to the lead federal prosecutor on all these cases. First Assistant U.S. Attorney Joe Thompson said today that
Okay, so it was this guy. The First Assistant U.S. Attorney Joe Thompson.
That are now essentially under probation because of suspected fraud, paid out a total of $18 billion since 2018.
Let's look this up. Joe Thompson press con. So this is who they're citing. This is who David is citing. It's the federal.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, and we know that like prosecutors for this administration are not the most reputable.
My name is Joe Thompson. I'm the First Assistant United States Attorney here for the District of Minnesota. I'm standing in for our U.S. Attorney, Dan Rosen, who is out of the country getting married. Congrats to Danny and Atara. I hope you're watching. My condolences for all of you who will be stuck with me today. I'm here today with representatives from my office as well as from the FBI, the Department of Health and Human Services, Office of Inspector General, the IRS Criminal Investigations, and the Department of Homeland Security Investigations. We are here to announce new charges in the ongoing investigations into fraud in state government programs, including the Housing Stabilization Services Medicaid program and the EIDBI Autism Medicaid program. I also want to give an update as to the status of our investigations, which have become a matter of significant public concern both here and around the country.
All right, get to it.
A Housing Stabilization Services
who fucking filmed this?
Company here in Minnesota. These two defendants enrolled in the Housing Stabilization Services program, purportedly to provide services.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure these guys are like from Kentucky or
something. People had housing who were facing housing instability, find and maintain stable housing. They did no such thing. As with the other defendants, Mr. Salah enrolled in the Housing Stabilization Program and began claiming to be providing housing stabilization services to people that were leaving drug and alcohol rehabilitation facilities. Again, he did no such thing. Instead, he just submitted fraudulent claims for services that he never provided. He submitted more than $1.4 million in fraudulent Medicaid claims, which he used to purchase more than $150,000 in cryptocurrency.
Okay, so he got 10% of the claims that he submitted, right? Like, did he get the money? You said that he made the claims for it. Fraud, tourism. Oh yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Residents of Philadelphia travel to Minnesota. Okay, so what's the total? Let's get to the total.
Services program. A pattern of explosive growth. I want to talk a little generally about the
Federal Child Nutrition Program funds to Feeding Our Future. Yeah, that's very fraudulent. Feeding Our Future obviously did full of a bunch of fraud. Okay, how much? All right, they're not saying total. Anyway, so this is a guy who's like prosecuting some, I guess he's saying that there's $9 billion. Okay. And keep in mind, like, people are like, oh my God, like, if you look at the comments, the fraud in Minnesota is absolutely evil by far. So infuriating, so disgusting. And yet you have Elon Musk on his way to becoming the world's first trillionaire due to stealing money from the U.S. government, or stealing money from U.S. taxpayers. Okay, so this video, when did this video come out, by the way? This video came out like a few days ago. So he is citing this guy. He's citing this guy.
Not involved is that where my office is here in Minneapolis, I'm sort of in the heart of all of this fraud. And I would see these child care centers. I said, well, there aren't any kids there. It's the middle of the day. And all I see are a couple of guys standing out front smoking. And then I'd go by another daycare and I'd see the same thing. I said, well,
dude, if it's the middle of the day, why would there be people getting dropped off? You drop them off in the morning and pick them up in the evening.
Where do these kids play? And so I started to go online and look, and I said, this place is licensed for 80 children. They had zero.
Not every spot has an outdoor playground too, by the way.
0 children. Every time I went by there, they never had a single child there. Then I started to see all these transportation companies going around, and it was always a Somali driver. And I said, well, that's great. They're out there transportation contributing, but they never had a passenger, never, ever once. And I said, well, what is all this transportation?
Dude, he's literally just seeing Somali people, doesn't like them, and then is like, oh, they must be doing fraud, right? That's all that he's doing. Have you done any investigations other than just like seeing Somalis and getting angry?
What are they doing? So then I found out that in Minnesota, they have something called non-emergency medical transportation. So this is going to the dentist's office, therapy, whatever it might be. And I said, well, how many of these companies are there? And the research came back that there are 1,020 of them, and more than 800 of them are Somali-owned. Nobody from the state of Minnesota ever cross-checks to see if any rides were ever actually provided. All they did was write the check.
So right here we have...
What are you talking about? How do you... Okay, so first of all, these companies are what? We're assuming that these companies are subsidized by the state government? What was he saying? Non-emergency
Nobody
medical?
from the... How many of these companies are there? And
non-emergency medical transport, that's what he's saying?
then I found out that in Minnesota, they have something called non-emergency medical transportation. So this is going to the dentist's office, therapy.
So what? Non-emergency medical transportation. That's paid for by the state. Non-emergency medical transportation, Minnesota. Medical transportation management, Health Partners Medical Transportation, Helpful Hands Transportation. Okay, so what is this? NEMT services. Overview covers non-emergency and emergency medical transportation services. Select the links. Okay, and they provide medical assistance members with the safest, most appropriate, and cost-effective mode of transportation to get to and from non-emergency medical service appointments. Members can arrange NEMT as one-way or round trips. Medical necessity determines which of the following types of levels. Okay, local, county, or tribal agency administered NEMT. Private automobiles, volunteer drivers, bus, taxi cabs. Emergency medical transportation eligible providers. Eligible providers must meet the following: MDOT vehicles, Minnesota Department of Transportation vehicle and driver requirements as established in Minnesota statutes 17429, 17430, and Minnesota rules. Additional driver and attendant training for protected transportation services, MHCP provider enrollment or local, county, or tribal agency criteria. So in order to be an eligible provider, you have to basically be licensed and have an additional driver and meet this criteria. Refer to enrollment with Minnesota healthcare programs under provider basics in the MHCP provider manual for general enrollment requirements. So he's saying that these people are being enrolling as providers. Are they getting paid by the state? enrollment process, rules and requirements, provider identification number, application fees, electronic funds transfer, enrollment for managed care organization providers, billing organizations. All right, what is this? Changes to so what are these billing organizations? MHC enrolled providers can assign clearing houses or billing intermediaries as their billing agents to submit claims and other transactions electronically to MHCP. Clearinghouses and billing intermediaries sending MHCP claims and other transactions on behalf of enrolled providers must enroll as a billing organization. So basically, these people can like send claims to MHCP and then get paid for these claims for the Minnesota healthcare programs. Okay, so I guess that's what he's saying.
Whatever it might be.
It's kind of funny though that he's like, yeah, these people are like fraudulently filling out that they're giving people rides, and I always just see them driving around and there's no one in the back. If they're just lying anyway, why the hell would they be driving around on their trucks?
And I said, well, how many of these companies are there? And the research came back that there are 1,020 of them, and more than 800 of them are Somali owned. Nobody from the state of Minnesota ever.
I do love that he's automatically assuming that like the Somalis are the ones that are going to be doing the fraud, right?
Cross checks to see if any rides were ever actually provided. All they did was write the check.
So right here we have all this paperwork. And how are you getting all this information about the fraud?
A lot of it is through my own research. And then I have some contacts at the Capitol going back many, many years. And so the data that I'm getting is 100% accurate, coming directly from research done by people at the state Capitol.
All this paperwork right here, what are we looking at?
The areas of fraud that...
Yeah, we'll trust him on that, right? We'll just trust him. This is 100% accurate from his insider at the Capitol, his contact at the Capitol.
I have numbers for are mostly related to childcare. This is massive fraud that is beyond anyone's imagination, the scope. And so, for example, there's a childcare not far from here in Minneapolis that has two childcares listed at the same address, and together they're licensed supposedly for 120 children. I have never seen a single child there ever, and I've been by that place at least 100 times.
These Somalians, these groups are setting up these daycares, these childcare centers.
These groups, dude. Once again, it's the racism is the point, okay? The racism against Somalis is the point.
Getting money from the government, but there's no kids.
No kids. Never had any of them. They're all...
Dude, they're getting charged by the kid. That's how they get paid. If they're like, this kid is at this daycare center, then they get paid by the government or like subsidized by the government for that kid.
Fraught with violations. And even
you as a daycare center, you can't just say, we have 120 kids showing up. Just trust me, bro, and then get money for 120 kids. The money is tied to the kid.
Even though they have these violations, they're still in operation and they're still getting money. And it's millions of dollars for every one of them every year.
And who's getting the money? And where are they getting the money from?
So we have a thing called CCAP. It's a blend of federal and state money. The bottom line is it's taxpayer money, so it's state money and it's federal money. And the problem is the people at the state of Minnesota are the ones writing the checks. This is kind of the maddening thing is you have daycare, so you have adult daycare, and then you have child care, and then you have health care. And a lot of these same names keep coming up on all of these different types of businesses. And then, of course, we have the transportation, and a lot of those same names appear, a lot of the same addresses. There's one building that has 14 Somali healthcare companies at the same address. There's another building in St. Paul that has 22 Somali healthcare businesses at the same address.
And the government knows about this.
Okay, have you like been to a strip mall before? Like, they're all in the same room, right? Or no, it's in the same address. He's never been to a building with more than one business at it, even though it might be a business that's like two healthcare businesses. Oh my God, two healthcare businesses in the same address, right? Okay, Let's go to that building then, right? That's what you want to do. Go to the building.
The government knows they're writing the checks. Yeah, the Democrats over there just writing the checks. What has happened is that the Somali community is a very closed community. They will not speak to anyone outside the community. And
the Feeding Our Future was literally ran by a white person that, did have Somalis open up fraudulent businesses, and they collaborated together. And he's like, Somalis don't work with white people. That's the problem. The biggest fraud in the history of the state was due to a white person working with Somali people to do fraud.
Talk about what's going on within the community. They vote as a block. And so when you're a politician, you're saying, look, I've got 100,000 people in Minnesota.
Dude, oh my God, the racism is so fucking disgusting. Look, if there's fraud, go show that there's fraud. Don't complain that these politicians are like bought out by Somalis and that your race, the white people, aren't getting their act together and voting in their best interests. That sounds like a skill issue, dude. Come on, vote as a block then. Make your race proud if that's your big issue.
That if I do something for the community, they're going to vote for me. And that's what it's all about, is getting the votes.
Local man figures out how politics work. If I do something for the community, they're going to vote for me. Good job, buddy. You figured it out, dude. Yeah. Have you seen Stranger Things?
And then the people here in Minnesota, you hear this term, Minnesota nice. I'm so sick of that term. The people here are so afraid of being called a racist or an Islamophobe.
Oh, they're afraid of being called a racist. But you're not?
And they're afraid of their own shadow. And I don't understand. This is our future generation.
The people here are just afraid of being called racist and being called Islamophobe. I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it.
Generations are going to have to pay for all this fraud, and they just want, and they're just.
Dude, holy shit, are you fucking moronic? So you don't think that, like, Somali people also pay taxes? They're not getting screwed over by the fraud too? This is such fucking stupid best bullshit. Every single Somali person is in on the fraud. They're all getting a cut of it, right? Yes, as Hyde Corvus said in chat, they're a fucking hive mind. Welcome to Stranger Things. Every Somali, they walk in unison, they speak in unison, they just have one collective consciousness, and everyone's cut in on it, so the fraud doesn't affect them either. It's only the white people that are getting affected by the fraud. Dude, holy fucking shit. There is fraud in this state, but it's racists like this piece of shit here that is really like ruining the conversation about it, right? Like, if you're like, okay, well, let's look into these claims, and then he starts going off on like, I'm so sick of people saying they don't want to be called racist anymore. Dude, why are you saying I'm mad that people don't want to be called racist? You're just like, I want more people to be racist. That's what you should really say.
They're afraid of their own shadow, and I don't understand. This is our future generations are going to have to pay for all this fraud, and they just want to bury their heads in the sand and go on and just not worry about it. Tim Walz saying there's organized crime in Minnesota. What did he do about it? Nothing. You got organized crime?
Literally being fucking investigated and adjudicated right now. That's been the biggest story of 2025, has been the criminal trials of the people arrested in Feeding Our Future. What the fuck are you talking about? That was an organized criminal ring to defraud the state of COVID money, right? That was an organized criminal ring that has been it's been investigated, and these people are all going to prison.
What are you doing? This is the Minnesota law, which mandates that anyone who knows of fraud and is a state employee must report that fraud. It's Minnesota Statute 3.971.
Oh God! All right.
Subdivision 9. Not
literally did the fucking Google AI. They didn't even copy it, man. This is like the Google AI summarization.
Fraud.
That's what they put in here. They didn't even look it up. Oh my God. They didn't even bother to put the real text up there. It's the AI summarization.
Minnesota Statute 3.971, Subdivision 9. Not only that, but Walz is also guilty of misconduct of a public employee. When I look at the world as a whole and I look at fraud, The Twin Cities is ground zero. The fraud is worse here than anywhere else ever.
Yeah, you like how Nick Shirley is asking questions? I mean, dude, it's like a monkey slamming two rocks together in his brain. It takes a while for a spark to be lit.
History anywhere.
We're gonna go.
Hey, Brett, how's it
We're gonna
going?
go to these daycare centers. We're gonna see what's actually happening.
Okay, so we have to be careful because these people are very violent. They're exceptionally violent.
Now.
Yeah, I can see why conservatives like this video.
With all of David's evidence, we headed out to the streets of Minneapolis to see how much fraud we could uncover in one afternoon. Where are we going now?
We're going to a place called Mako Child Care, which actually has another child care registered at the same address called Mini Child Care Center.
So we should see lots of children if there's this child care center, especially if there's two.
The two of them combined are licensed for 120.
And how
just because they're licensed for 120 kids doesn't mean that 120 kids are going to be there 24/7. That just is like the maximum amount of kids that they can have.
How much money have these child care centers received?
None of those vans have moved in 6 months. None of them. In 2020, one of them received $1.3 million. In 2021, they got $987,000. In 2022, they got $714,000. That's the last I have for that one. And then the other one, $1.604 million in fiscal year 2025.
Money stolen from Minnesota. Oh, okay. So these numbers are 100% accurate. There's no reason to question any of these numbers. We can just trust this guy and his contact at the Capitol. But just in case, let's look something up. Daycare subsidies, Minnesota. Let's see, what do we have? Child Care Assistance Program. The Child Care Assistance Program can help you make quality child care affordable for families with low incomes. How to apply, waiting lists. Fill out an online application, contact your due. Some agencies have a child care waiting list for families who haven't received Minnesota Family Investment Programs, eligibility, income limit. So how much money do they get paid per kid? Child Care Assistance. Child Care Assistance Program information for child care. Federal child care funds to Minnesota halted. Minnesota Child Care Assistance Program. Take a look at this. Funding stream, provider and family allocations. State child care. How much money? How much money? Family application. Transition. Basic sliding fee. Tribes. A child care assistance program information for child care providers. They help families with low incomes pay for child care so that parents can work and go to school. Every month, they provide access to child care for over 23,000 children from 12,000 families. We're getting the updated number is like 30,000. Receiving consistent and predictable payments from CCAP. Early education providers registered with CCAP benefit by receiving consistent and predictable payments, being ready to provide child care to all Minnesota families and children, committing to equity and inclusion for all Minnesota families and children, registering for CCAP. How do I register? What are the recent changes? How much money do you get though? Billing and payments. If a family is eligible for assistance, child care assistance pays the child care provider directly, except in certain cases when child care is provided in the child's home. If care is provided in the child's home, the program pays the parent, who then must pay the provider. The amount of child care assistance families are eligible for is based on factors including family size, income, age of the child or children, type of child care, and amount of care needed. Families may be required by CCAP to pay for part of their child care costs. This is called a copayment. They may not cover all of your charges. So billing, what do we have? Billing, payments. Doesn't say what it is. The reimbursement rates. Child Care Assistance Program information for families. Yeah, how much it's interesting. It is kind of difficult to find how much children are actually getting paid. Per child, Minnesota. child care assistance, subsidies, child care assistance amount per child. Minnesota. Child care rates. What is this? Are we going to have some actual numbers? Co-payment schedules. For CCAP maximum rates and co-payment schedules prior to those listed below, contact your CCAP policy specialist. Oh, we're not going to find this, are we? Fraud disqualifications. Ooh, fraud disqualifications. Chapter gives information on referring cases for fraud investigation and disqualifying. They must establish that an IPV has been committed in order to disqualify a family. Agency handle fraud disqualifications for families. Legal authority. Okay. Overpayments. Income eligibility. Authorizing child care payments. Providers. Eligibility requirements. 12-month. I don't know. All right. We're just going to trust David. We're going to trust him.
Fiscal year 2024, they got about 800,000, and in fiscal year 2023, they got $904,059. This place right here. Yes.
We're outside of it.
Well, this is actually
fraud counter 5.24 million. Let's see. Child care costs by year. How much does a child care? So let's see. Child care costs remain an almost prohibitive expense. Full day median annual price range for care. Okay, what is the average? U.S. families spend between 8.9 and 16% of their median income. The most recent year for which data is available, even part day. So with annual prices ranging from $6,000 to $15,000 in 2022. So let's look this up. Child care costs, Minnesota. Cost of child care aware Minnesota. Infant, toddler, family child care, $451. What is this? Metro costs? What is this, like per month? Weekly, this is weekly rates? The cheapest is $300 school age. That's the cheapest shit. I mean, for the centers, the family child care. Don't know what the difference between that is. Greater Minnesota costs. So we're in the metro though, right? Like that's what he's investigating. So what is this? $308, 308 times 120 times 52. That's what he's saying. So this is 1.92 million. So if we're going off of the cheapest center cost based off of child care aware of Minnesota, then it costs $1.2 million for child care. Or like $1.9 million for child care in a year. That's what we're saying. For 120 kids, it costs $1.9 million. So they're actually getting underpaid, right? Because they didn't even get paid over $1 million.
Where are we going now?
We're going to a place called Mako Child Care, which actually has another child care registered at the same address called Mini Child Care Center.
So we should see lots of children if there's this child care center, especially if there's.
Dude, also, what the fuck is he wearing? Why is his vest like zipped between his nipples?
The two of them combined are licensed for 120.
And how much money have these child care centers received?
None of those vans have moved in 6 months. None of them. In 2020, one of them received $1.3 million. In 2021, they got $987,000. In 2022, they got.
Also, like, notice how he's writing money stolen from Minnesota. He just thinks that money being paid to Somalis for their goods and services is money being stolen. That's what he thinks. Because even by his own definition, like, if there's a single kid there, right, then it wouldn't be all of the money that they got paid being stolen. Like, sure, maybe they could be juicing their numbers and saying they had 8 kids instead of 6 today. But no, it's just any money given to them, that is fraud.
714,000. That's the last I have for that one. And then the other
And we've determined that that's a pretty good fucking deal for 120 kids, right?
one, 1.604 million in fiscal year 2025. Fiscal year 2024, they got about 800,000. That's the last I have for that one. And then the
Why is that the last you have for that one? You don't have any more information about like, dude, this guy's just a mess. He has like look at this. He's like these two child dude, this is so fucking funny. Look at what happened here, right? It's called Mako Childcare, whatever that stands for. He has it from 2020 to 2022. So 3 years, 2020, 2021, 2022. Then he's like, then that's the last I have from that one. Now the next one,
$59.
I only have the data from 2023 and onwards. And they're in the same building. Really interesting. So could it possibly be that they just fucking changed the name of the center and you're a moronic, idiot, racist piece of shit who thought that it's, 2 different childcare places in the exact same center? Oh my God, dude. God, what the fuck? Like, look, the years are like, I have it from 2020 to 2022. Then I don't have the data. And funnily enough, the data for the other center, which is in the exact same building, starts in 2023 and onwards, but I don't have any data from previously.
1.604 million in fiscal year 2025. Fiscal year 2024, they got about 800,000, and in fiscal year 2023, they got 904,000.
And I do have to say though, like, this is kind of a wholesome video. It's just a kid and his grandpa, and he's humoring him. He's doing his grandpa's favorite activity, taking him for a day out on the town to yell at minority groups. He's just giving his grandpa a good day. Like, he's gonna get him all worked up, and then he's gonna go home, eat some soup, and take a nap on the lazy boy armchair. Oh my God, dude.
$1,059. This place right here. Yes.
We're outside of it.
Well, this is actually 2 daycares are registered here. One of them is Mako, which you see on this sign. The other one is Mini Child Care Center. And between the two of these child care centers, they're pulling in about $3 million a year. And there are no children.
Why would you say that, bro? You don't have any data to support that. Like, you literally said you ran out of information about one child center, and then you started on the next one, like the previous year. You don't have information to say that they're pulling in 2 combined because you never had a single year where both of them were getting paid.
Facilities you go to, the windows will be blocked out so you can't see in. Child care centers, they're pulling in about $3 million a year. And there are no children. Every facility as you go to, the windows will be blocked out.
The windows there are not blocked out.
So you can't see in. There's nobody here. You won't see a single child at any of these facilities.
You can see into the window right now.
There are indeed no windows. All the windows are blacked out.
What about the doors behind you?
Out right here. All right, let's go in.
No.
And the child care center is...
You can see in through the doors. What are they talking about? Yeah, they fucking put up blinds. They put up blinds where the kids are playing so that creeps like you can't look in. But you can see in through the door, bro. You can literally... I see the fucking ceiling of the building. Holy shit. Also, yeah, it's a daycare center. It's locked during the day when, like, no one's supposed to be going in.
It's locked. Should we ring the doorbell? Yeah. Try to get in, rang the doorbell, nobody showed up. They're open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. it says here on their sign, yet there's absolutely nobody here. And this building here, right here, has generated millions of dollars, and it seems like business isn't even open right now, and it's a weekday. And if this was a daycare center, it wouldn't just be in some industrialized building. There would be maybe like a playground or something outside, or...
There's no play area for the kids. So where are the kids? Where's anybody? How can there be nobody here? And it's like this every single day.
He goes to the daycare center every single day.
Never seen a single child here. In 9 years, I've never seen a single child at this building. Right there.
Oh, then now it looks like we already got the Somalis coming
Yeah,
through.
they're coming.
We've already got the Somalis coming. I do love how racist this video is.
And the word's out.
Hello, is this your daycare?
No. Could you tell us why there are no children? Have you ever seen children at this child care center?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Doesn't know if she's ever seen a child here. All right, let's go to the next location.
And the fraud only gets more from here. Make sure you stay till the very end of this video to see exactly how much fraud we find.
So they literally just like try to go into a daycare center. No one lets them in and then they leave.
By the time we are done. And before we go to the next location, I want to show you something super interesting about the flags of Minnesota.
And here in Minnesota, if you take...
Oh my God. No, he's going to say that the flags were influenced by the Somali flag.
A look at the Minnesota state flag. They recently changed it and it very much so resembles the flag of Somalia. And really quick, I want to tell you guys about the sponsor of this video, Opus
Clip. My God, dude.
Clip. What one friend with nearly just 100 views of viral for is that Opus auto framing so now in 3 months one generated. Now let's
get this guy out of my city.
Back into the video. Now we're going to the next daycare center. How much money has this one generated?
This one.
Dude, I'm looking at this right now. ABC7 on your side. What is this? Wait. Okay, never mind. This was a different childcare center.
Fiscal year 2025, $1,042,059. In fiscal year 2024, $1,059,078. And in fiscal year 2023, $727,336.
This next one is literally 1 block away, and this one's also generated nearly $3 million in the past 3 years.
Sorry, I missed this. License for 40 children. Oh my God. Number of children at this facility is 0. So so this man apparently has a contact in the state government, right? He started off this video by printing out a law and saying that this law requires that people that know about fraud have to report it, otherwise they're criminals too, right? So isn't your contact a fucking criminal? Since you knew about all of this fraud and no one's doing anything about it, doesn't look like he did a good job reporting on it.
$1,078, and in fiscal year 2023, $727,330.
Got a typo there, buddy. Double $sign.
$6.
This next one is literally 1 block away, and this one's also generated nearly $3 million in the past 3 years. Let's see if there's any children. Let's see if any of the buildings are open. Here we go. All right, we've arrived to ABC Learning Center. All the windows are blacked out. Let's see if anybody is here. This door is locked.
This facility is licensed for 40 children. 0 children. I've come by this place 100 times. I've never seen a child here, ever. The only thing I've ever seen is someone standing outside smoking.
What's crazy about this is that last daycare center is that green building right there. And the other daycare center right now is right here. These buildings should be operating as they're receiving literally millions of dollars. I knocked on the door, and to my surprise, somebody actually answered the door. Hello? Can we speak? I would like to check it.
So just look at all of the guys behind him in the reflection.
Hello?
Guy standing there.
Can we speak? I would like
2 guys standing there, actually. Another guy off to the
to
side.
check a child in the daycare. Why? Can I speak to a manager?
Bro, like, fuck off, dude. You walk up with like 6 guys all recording these people. You're pointing at the building full of children, by the way. You're recording it. Then you start like banging on the door. And what? You're expecting the person to just like let you in?
Where can I get paperwork to file for my son? I wanted to put my son Joey in daycare.
And after a few questions, the lady went silent.
Looks like little Joey Shirley ain't going.
She's like, you don't have any fucking kids.
The daycare here. And now where are we going?
Now we're going to Sweet Angel Child Care.
We're in the middle of it.
Bro, You have a fucking list of daycare centers. Does no one find this creepy? This old man has a list of all of the places where children are that he harasses.
A strip mall here inside of this neighborhood.
In fiscal year 2025, this facility, which has its license for 74 kids, was paid $1.26 million in tax money. And there are no kids, and all the facilities are the same way, all of them.
Let's see if anyone opens.
Yeah, let's see.
Once again, I try to find a spot for my son Joey, and they would not open the door.
I want to put my son.
Notice how it's like there are people there, right? They're just not letting him into the building because he's sketchy as fuck, and he's with an old guy who said, I'm tired of people saying they don't want to be racist against Somalis.
Joey in daycare. Cuz I need a spot to put my son Joey. Is this your daycare center?
Work there. What's happened?
I just want to put a child in daycare, but all the daycare centers seem to be closed. No one's opening the doors.
You work here?
I was, yeah. What's happened?
Where are the kids?
Yeah?
It says it's licensed for 74 children. Right here, state of Minnesota. Where are the kids? They got paid $1.26 million in fiscal year 2025. It says they have a capacity for 74 children.
When?
Where are the
dude, it's just an old crazy bastard like pointing at a piece of paper. There's no kids. It says that they're getting a lot of money from this paper here. This paper here says that you guys are doing fraud and that you need to leave. It's this paper.
Kids right here. State of Minnesota website.
The most normal fucking guy in the world. What are you talking about? What is this piece of paper? Like, he's so confused.
You work here and you don't know?
I don't know. I was there before. I don't know what's going on.
Were there any kids when you worked here?
He's there. Kids there. What's
How
up?
many?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah.
You worked here. Okay, well, then you're not of any help.
Can I put my son in a daycare here?
No, I don't know.
Can I speak to someone?
No, I don't know.
No? Yeah, I would like to see if I can put my son Joey here.
Who's your son, Joey?
My son Joey. Can I check out daycare center?
No! You're a liar. I'm the owner.
Do you put your kid here in this daycare?
No.
There is one child in there. Yeah, I'd like to know if this is a...
Oh my god. He's literally like following children. Oh, he's looking in through the crack in the door and is like, I guess there's one kid in here.
Put your kid here in this daycare?
No.
There is one child in there. Yeah, I'd like to know if this is a legit business.
Me, I'm scared of you too. How come I explain you everything?
You're scared of me?
Yeah.
Why?
Because of your curry.
Oh shit, dude! Hit him with that Uno reverse racism card. Honestly, though, like to be fair, she's not wrong. There's white guys that are doing raids across the country, and specifically in Minnesota and Minneapolis too. It's people in the color of Nick Shirley that are harassing people of her color.
Because of my color. You said you're scared of me because of my color. Does that make you a racist?
Yeah, no.
But
no.
You said you're scared of me because of my
I'm gonna debate, bro. This woman I'm harassing.
color.
I'm not saying you're racist.
You said you're scared of me because of my color. That makes you a racist. So right now they're all getting mad because he's showing the paperwork.
Remember how this video started? You're literally with a guy who said, I'm sick and tired of people saying that they don't want to be called a racist anymore. You're with a guy who wants more people to be racist. I don't think you have the fucking higher ground. I don't think you have the high ground here saying that, oh, you're racist here?
Of this business being registered as a business. 74 children, no children. We saw one child when the lady opened up.
No children. We saw one child when I stuck my fucking head through the door to look at children.
The door.
So
now they're all getting mad.
What was this money spent on?
Yeah, they get mad because you're harassing them.
There aren't any kids.
Ask the doctor and the kids.
Well, then why are you
fucking saw a kid? You shoved your face into the door, saw a kid. What do you mean there's no kids? You saw a woman drop her kid off.
Talking for the owner if you're telling me to talk to the owner.
I'm sorry. I'm not understand what you're talking about.
Do you have a child here?
No.
Does anybody?
No.
Where are the...
It's the employees that work there, bro.
74 kids. Did you lose them?
It's also like clearly a Somali neighborhood. It's in a strip mall. The people that are walking by don't have to be going to that place to drop their kids off there.
Did you lose these kids? Do I need to call someone? Do I need to issue an Amber Alert for missing children?
Oh my God.
Are these children missing?
Look,
It's not my business that children are missing. 74 infants and toddlers, preschool.
The proof's right there. There's no children anywhere.
Oh my god, dude. This is the point of the video. This is the point, to harass these people and get a reaction out of them so that he can record it and throw it up there so that racist people will, like, get hard over it. Oh yeah, a white boy harassing brown people. I love this.
It's from the state of Minnesota right here.
I think we're moving on to the next location. Have a good day.
As we continue to show the blatant fraud that was taking place here in Minnesota, Somalis started following us around the city.
And now we're being followed by the Somalis. This is another daycare center.
Okay, you're harassing people. What? This is what you're doing. Except you're doing it worse because you're harassing children. And now you're like, oh, people are following me? Yeah, they should be following you. God damn, you're a fucking creep.
Absolutely no signage, and there's no footprints in the snow of children playing outside. $5 million.
Fucking Christ. It's like -10 degrees. Why aren't children playing in the snow?
Within the past
5.9 million in 2 years. 5.9 million they received in 2 years. That facility right there.
And now we have a group of Somalis telling us in our vehicle right now.
From this daycare center, we headed over to the infamous Quality Learning Center, which actually spells Quality Leering Center on the outside of their sign. That's how blatant this fraud is here at this daycare.
Don't open up!
So this is Quality Leering.
Yeah. Notice how they didn't show the person that said don't open up.
Here at this daycare.
Don't open up!
Because it's probably not a Somali person. That's why they didn't show her, right? The camera person went over to show her, and then they cut away.
That's how blatant this fraud is here at this daycare.
Don't open up!
Literally like a white lady walking past. She's saying don't open up to the daycare center because these people are fucking creeps. They're racist pieces of shit creeps. That's what they are. So yes, it's this person saying don't open up to the daycare center so that, you know, these people don't film their children.
So this is Quality Leering Center. I meant to say.
Also, this is literally a side door. That's why it's blacked out and locked. The main entrance is on the other side of the building.
Quality Learning Center.
Don't open
They
up!
said they spelt learning wrong.
Don't open up!
How do you have ice here, ma'am? I'm literally a YouTuber.
Don't open up!
Ma'am, what do you think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Don't open up! We have ice!
And what do you think about this place being licensed for 99 children?
Don't open.
Wow, look at how unreasonable these white people are being. We should do some investigations into them. Maybe they have daycare businesses too that they're not going to let you in to see the children.
And getting $4 million over the
Open up! It's ice!
$4 million in the last 2 years.
Go away!
What do you think about that?
Bro, this woman's like dripped out. Just won't shut the fuck up either. I love her.
Are you in favor? Are you in favor of that?
Go away!
You know
You're not welcome here.
Are you-
Shame on you!
Are you in favor of?
Dude, goddamn, the debate bro like mentality has seeped into all of these people. Jesus Christ. Are you in favor of daycare centers getting money from the government? Are you in favor of that?
$1.9 million going illegally, fraudulently to this business that has Quality Learning Center but can't even spell learning right on the door.
Don't open up!
Ma'am, we are not ICE.
I don't care who you are.
We are not ICE.
You don't belong here.
Oh, dude, they got wrecked.
I belong here.
I belong here. I don't care who you are. You don't belong here. You're literally trying to like break your way into daycare centers to film children. That's what you want to do.
Just like you belong here.
Don't open up! It's ice!
You do realize that there's supposed to be 99 children right here at this building, but there's no one here.
She's so awesome.
This is a child daycare center.
99 children. Paid $1.9 million this year in CCAP funding. Do you know where the children are? Were they kidnapped? They run away? Where are the children? This is state of Minnesota.
Bro, I'm 3 miles away from this place right now.
Right here.
And who are you?
My name's Nick Shirley, ma'am.
And who are you with?
Nick Shirley. Nick Shirley on YouTube.
Yeah, so who are you with here?
Oh, he's just been doing some research.
He's just David.
investigating the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm with Nick Shirley.
This lady, she's calling us ICE. We're just trying to put law and order back in the streets of the United States. Get rid of all the fraud. Have you ever seen children at that daycare center right there?
Where?
Yeah, it's right there. It says the child. You've never seen daycare.
I haven't seen anybody in there.
We're gonna educate you on something. So what do you?
I haven't seen anybody in there. Why the fuck would you like? I don't know, guys. I don't look at daycare centers on for hours on end to see how many children walk in there. Yeah, I'm not gonna walk past a daycare center and be like, oh yeah, I see kids going in there all the time, right?
Think about this daycare center. They spelt learning wrong. They've received over $1.9 million this year alone, and they're supposed to have 99 children here.
I don't see it.
Have you ever seen any children here?
None at all.
Dude,
None.
Being licensed for 99 kids isn't the same as getting paid for 99 kids or saying that you have 99 kids. It's how much you're licensed to have. Like, does he ever question why it's always like even numbers? Oh, 99 people, like maximum occupancy, 99, 40, like not 33 or like 26. Does he ever wonder why it's always like what it would seem like to be a maximum occupancy number?
This year they got 1.9 million. Last year they got 1.5 million of your tax money for 99 children. We just want to know where are the kids?
Right.
Where are the children?
I don't see them. I've been here since 2017. I haven't seen anybody like
Never
that here.
seen a child here.
No, not at all.
And so you've never seen.
We just want to know where are the kids?
Right.
Where are the children?
I don't see them. I've been here since 2017. I haven't seen anybody like
Never
that here.
seen a child here.
No, not at all.
And so you've never
years.
seen a child here for 8 years?
Nope, not at all.
And how does that make you feel?
Bro, this guy looks like he's an alcoholic.
Knowing that this place is receiving
Like, did he just stumble out of a bar?
$1.9 million.
It's disgusting. I mean, what the hell? They stealing the money. That's a federal grant too. That's, if they get caught for that, it's a federal offense. I know. I studied law.
And do you think Tim Waltz should go to jail for all the fraud that's
Tim Waltz
he's enabled here in his state?
That's him doing this? Whoa, heck yeah. He's got to be held accountable for this. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason what's going on here. It's simple. It's nothing there. It's a parking lot.
And look, they even spelled...
Dude, holy shit. The guy they're interviewing actually thinks that the parking lot is the daycare center rather than the building that they're beside. Oh my God. He said it's just a parking... Dude, this guy, I think he's actually drunk. He stumbled out of the building. They just like grabbed him off the street somewhere. He wanders over there and then is like, what? That's a daycare center? There's no kids there. Where are the kids? It's just a parking lot. They interviewed a guy who thought they were talking about the parking lot. That's why he kept saying, I don't see any kids. This is crazy. Holy shit. How the fuck did they get a guy and then he's like, yeah, that's just a parking lot. That's not a daycare center. That's just a parking lot.
What's going on here? It's simple. It's nothing there. It's a parking lot.
And look, they even spelled learning wrong on their sign. For
that is like, oh wait, no, the thing's actually the building that's right there.
Could be held
enabled here in his state.
That's him doing this? Whoa, heck yeah. He's got to be held accountable for this.
I really think they found just like a drunkard at like 10 a.m.
I mean, there's no rhyme or reason what's going on here. It's simple. It's nothing there. It's a parking lot.
And look, they even spelled learning wrong on their sign for a place that's supposed to be educating children. Children.
He's like, look, they can't even spell learning right in a place that's supposed to educate children.
On here, it's simple. It's nothing there. It's a parking lot.
And look, they even spelled learning wrong on their sign for a place that's supposed to be educating children. Children.
That's crazy. I mean, who runs it? Who supposedly runs it?
Somalians.
Oh my God. Well, where? Yeah, it's just. I've never seen nobody here at all.
So how long have you been living here?
Since 2017.
You've never seen a single child walk in that building?
No, not at all.
So this big daycare center is literally just a place to traffic money. $1.9 million just this year alone. And this guy's been living here for 8 years and has never seen a single child walk through those doors. There's no windows either.
No.
And the only window they do have, the door, is blacked out.
Yep, I see that. I've never seen anybody go in there.
Within just a few hours, we nearly approached.
Dude, holy shit. Dude. Where is this place? They gave the address on the window.
Only
1411 Nicolette Suite. Let me see. 1411 Nicolette Suite B. Maps. Let's go to Street View. If I can. This. Oh. So what? This is the parking lot that he was on? The place? It's just a parking lot. Where is this? This is 14th Street? Dude, where's the actual map? I don't even see that place. Nicolette Street. What street is this? This is Nicolette Avenue. 1411. Bro, I don't know. I cannot use Google Maps. I don't even see this place at all. (1411) Nicolette Suite B. I don't know. Oh, look.
The window they do have, the door is blacked out.
Yep, I see that. I've never seen anybody go in there.
Within just a few hours, we nearly approached $20 million in fraud, and we headed over to George Floyd's neighborhood to expose more of the fraud taking place.
This place is called Future Leaders Early Learning Center, and it's licensed for 90 children. And in fiscal year 2025, they received $3.6 million. In fiscal year 2024, they received $3 million. So in 2 years, they got $6.67 million, claiming they have 90 children every day of the week, 5 days a week.
I mean,
So let's
these
find
people
out.
are making just about more money than NBA athletes.
And we don't even know if they're paying taxes, but we don't know where this money is going. Is it going to terrorism? Where is it going? But it's theft, it's fraud, and the reason I'm involved is
What were they showing? They were showing earlier the kitchen sign. They were showing they have this music box thing. Okay, well, I guess this is like a few days old, or a few years old. Like the actual opening to the healthcare center is right here. This is the actual opening to the healthcare center. You can see a window here. There's doors with windows on it. They walked over to the side of the building, and that's the side entrance. The main entrance is on the actual main road.
In fraud, and
But
we
yeah, you want to talk about fraud. I mean, this video is fraudulent.
headed over to George Floyd's neighborhood to expose more of the fraud taking place.
This place is called Future Leaders Early Learning Center, and it's licensed for 90 children. And in fiscal year 2025, they received $3.6 million. In fiscal year 2024, they received $3 million. So in 2 years, they got $6.67 million, claiming they have 90 children every day of the week, 5 days a week.
I mean,
So let's
these
find
people
out.
are making just about more money than NBA athletes.
And we don't even know if they're paying taxes, but we don't know where this money is going. Is it
We don't
is
know
it
if they're
going
paying
to
taxes.
terrorism? Where is it going? but it's theft.
It's going, dude. What the fuck? It's getting paid to the daycare center. That's what it's getting paid to. What do you mean? Is it going to terrorism?
Fraud, and the reason I'm involved is I want it to stop.
All right.
I care about Minnesota. I'm doing this for the people of Minnesota. I don't make a dime off all this time I've spent on this. I put my life at risk several times, but I'm determined to see this through and to correct what is wrong.
You've put your life at risk several times.
Here at Future Leaders Early Learning Center, this building received over $3 million. Hello, how are you? I would like to see if I could bring little Joey, my son little Joey here. Is there paperwork, or can I check out the daycare?
I'm filming this because I want to bring him back to him and see if he'd enjoy it.
No. Why can't I check out the daycare?
Martin's not here.
Okay, but if can I get paperwork or anything to submit my son little Joey to come in here to daycare? We'd really like to put Joey in this daycare. We've heard great things.
Business card?
No, I would like your business card, actually.
You talk to your manager.
Okay, can I speak with somebody?
Unknown.
Where are the children at? Are there children here today?
No.
No children?
Yes.
Why are there no children?
Two of Mexico.
Would my son little Joey have friends to play with here?
No.
No.
Yes.
No friends for little Joey?
Yes. Sorry.
Ah, dang it. Well, have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
So, little Joey would not be accepted to that daycare.
Joey's still homeless.
Joey's still looking for daycare. And because little Joey couldn't get into a daycare, we went to an autism center, as they have been popping up everywhere as a rise of autism has occurred here in Minnesota. Because of the government funds that they're receiving, I tried to check my son Joey into an autism center. We've been going to a lot of these daycare centers. We're trying to find a spot for our little boy Joey, but we thought maybe we could check him into the autism center. Because none of the daycare centers are open. Yeah, and how many kids do you guys have at this autism center?
I can't give you a number now.
Like more than 5?
Probably. Yeah.
Probably, so you don't really know?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about like the fraud that's been labeled on the autism centers here? What do you guys do think about the fraud, or how come the autism centers are popping up?
I can't answer.
What news? Are you a news reporter?
My name's Nick. We're doing a little documentary trying to find little Joey a spot to put himself in one of these centers here, because there's
So why are you asking us about
the fraud. Yeah, because we want to make sure we're
like, dude, he doesn't even fucking stick to his own story. They're like, who's Joey? Why are you asking about fraud then?
going to legit business if we're going to bring our little boy Joey here.
This is not a Joey spot. But that's our number on the other bill. But this is we can't let you guys do so.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So once again, little
dude, like, I don't know, man. Talk to people that are responsible for actually observing and auditing these businesses rather than just going there and harassing the people for your clickbaity YouTube video.
Joey, he can't even go to daycare, and now they won't even accept him if he has autism.
And again, no kids. Couldn't tell you how many kids they serve.
After being able to provide...
He didn't tell you because you two guys are sketchy as fuck that have gone on the record about wanting to be racist.
No evidence of them actually being an autism center in a place where a child could go. They shut the door and we headed to the next.
No evidence of it being an autism center, except for the autism center sign that was on the building, which is a place that children can go. But other than that, there's no evidence that it's an autism. What evidence do you want, dude? Did they let you in? Like, okay, come on.
Fraudulent daycare center that was just around the corner.
We're on to the next location. We're still trying to find little Joey a place to go to get some daycare.
So where we're going now is a place called Super Kids Daycare Center.
Oh yeah, it's 100% heavily edited. I mean, they're not really hiding their racism in the editing process, saying mumbles, yells in Somali.
Interestingly, this daycare center was shut down when it was called Creative Minds Daycare, and it had received $2.45 million this fiscal year 2025 They had to shut down because there were so many violations, and they went and they just reopened under a new license, and they renamed the center Super Kids Daycare Center, LLC.
Wow, so it seems like the state is actually doing a good job making sure that these daycare centers are, you know, following the rules of being a licensed daycare center. Interesting. So you're saying there is oversight over these centers.
So they got shut down, then started another one.
Literally the next day.
Creative Minds Daycare, $2.45 million got sent to this daycare center. We have empty parking lot. We do have a bus here. This is different. We'll see if we see anybody.
I knocked on the door.
Oh
Absolutely
God,
nobody was inside, and once again, no children could be heard anywhere.
So David, once again, another child.
This is like a fucking. This is like a This is like a German fairy tale where two guys are like want children for nefarious purposes. Like, show us the children. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of a Somali one.
Daycare center. We have a bus out here. No one's inside. Licensed for over 50 kids. No children anywhere. But yet, millions.
Yeah, dude. The only feds that should have been activated by this video are people investigating Nick Shirley and David for harassing children that are trying to go to daycare.
Dollars every single year.
So the sign says Creative Minds Daycare. They got in so much trouble, they had so many violations that they had to shut down, and they reopened the next day under Super Kids Daycare Center. You see 3801 Portland, 3801 Portland, which is where we are.
So that's fraud right there alone.
Millions and millions of dollars, and again,
Not fraud. You can shut down businesses and open up new businesses. How is that fraud?
the kids are missing. Where are the kids?
You would think if they had the same address, that whoever's inside or working at the Capitol here inside of Minnesota would just say, oh, maybe that's a red flag.
They just write the check. Human Services, they got to clean out the whole bunch.
They literally closed down the place, right? What do you mean they just write the check? You said that Minnesota shut it down because they failed inspections.
They're the ones who enabled this fraud. How can you not look and say, wait a minute, these two are just...
Bro, racism just like melts you from the inside. These people look so fucking miserable. Just the hatred that they have for Somalis in everywhere, but in Minnesota is just oozing out of their faces. Like, goddamn, this guy just looks absolutely done. He looks miserable. He's miserable. They're not getting like satisfaction out of this. Maybe it's giving them some kind of sick pleasure to see some of their misery be inflicted upon other people. But at the end of the day, they're gonna go home and be just as empty inside as they were the morning they woke up.
The same address.
On top of all of the childcare centers, that's just only a small piece of the fraud. What other fraud are they committing here in Minnesota?
Right, it's really dedicated fraud, right? Some of these places have kids that show up at it, fraudulent kids. Remember this guy, he's like, I see all of these non-emergency medical transportation vehicles, and they're always driving around, but there's never anyone inside it. Really dedicated fraud scheme there, driving to the patient's house, but just not picking them up, right? They're just driving around, but they never pick anyone up for some reason. They buy school buses for their fraudulent daycare centers, but, you know, they're just really buying into the bit of being fraudulent. Who knows where the money's going? It could be going to school buses. It could be going to terrorism. You don't know.
So another major piece of the fraud is the home health care industry. Where we're going now,
dude, the thing is, Avocado Loco, I'd like to do like a counter report to this shit, but I don't want to go to daycare centers and harass them. That's like, obviously I wouldn't be as I wouldn't be as like confrontational and as much of a douchebag as this guy is, but I still don't want to just like rock up to daycare centers or even really call them, because they've been getting called by hundreds of people and getting harassed on the phone. So I don't know, maybe I'll go to some of these places, but I once again, I don't really want to go to like daycare centers. Maybe I'll go to like this healthcare place, right? That would be interesting. But like the daycare centers, I kind of want to stay away from.
A building that has 14 Somali-owned home healthcare companies in the same building.
14 of the same healthcare companies in one building.
14 home healthcare companies with different names in the same building.
Dude, these people are so fucking dumb. The guy's like, there are 14 Somali-owned healthcare companies in the same building. And then Nick Shirley's like, so you're saying that there's 14 of the same company in the same building? In the same company? No, that would just be that would be one company. 14 of this
home healthcare companies in the same building.
14 of the same healthcare companies in one building.
14 home healthcare companies with different names in the same building.
How bad has Tim Walz managed the budget here inside of Minnesota?
So, the last biennium, we had an...
It's actually been pretty good. We had a massive surplus coming out of COVID. Since then, I don't know. The budget's been spent pretty well.
$18 billion surplus.
Yeah, $18
this
billion
biennium,
surplus.
We have a $6 billion deficit. That's a $24 billion swing in one biennium. How in the world can you burn through $24 billion in 2 years? This is how, right here. This is a huge part of it.
And so would you say a lot of that is fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Absolutely. I would say better than 90% of it is absolute outright fraud.
And a large percentage of this fraud is from these healthcare companies that are charging the state millions of dollars while they actually aren't providing anything. In fact, the FBI just did a raid a few days ago on a building similar to the one we are about to enter. Inside of this building, there were 14 of nearly the exact same businesses offering the exact same services.
Right here, you have a list of all of the healthcare companies. Loads of them right here. We want healthcare.
No, it's okay.
Yes, we'd like to speak about getting healthcare here.
No.
Why can't I get healthcare here?
No, wait.
Warning, you are under video surveillance. No trespassing, security armed. This is the strange.
Wow, so there's a secretary and signs that say you're under video surveillance, no trespassing. And you're like, wow, that's really suspicious that there's no trespassing signs.
Just place I've ever been to get healthcare. Just a bunch of different places. Healthcare here, healthcare right here, another healthcare company right here. There are 3
Serenity Center, Key Care Services. All of these are like, why are they acting like these are like doctors' offices? All of them are about home care. Like, it's obviously care that helps people at their houses, and then what? This is their office building for it. Like, dude, this is absolutely ridiculous. All of these things are about like helping people at their homes. That's what is all of
right
them
here.
are.
You have a list.
Helping Hands Home Care, Ashi Consulting, that's not even health. Haroon Law Office, that's not even health. York Trading, First Daycare Center. There's a daycare center. So wait, Itasca Home Health. So like, there's like 4 healthcare companies, and they're all about doing home health services.
List of all of the healthcare companies.
All of the healthcare companies. There's what? Helping Hands Home Care, Senior Center. That's not even really. That's like an office building for a senior center. Health Services, Home Health. That's 3 things. Home health care, Helping Hands, Hub Health Services, and Itasca Home Health. That's literally 3 healthcare companies. Oh, and then this one. And then this one got replaced by Better Home Healthcare. So there's 4. Maybe Present Help is another home health thing. So there's like 5. There's 5 healthcare companies out of like 20 buildings. And why did the guy say that there were 20 healthcare companies or 14 healthcare companies?
Loads of them right here. We want healthcare.
No, it's okay.
Yes, we'd like to speak about getting healthcare here.
No.
Why can't I get healthcare here?
No, wait.
Warning, you are under video surveillance. No trespassing, security armed. This is
like, how, dude, white people thrive off of having like no trespassing signs, having security footage, having like security cameras, having alarms that get tripped. That's like white people's bread and butter. How are they now saying that that's somehow an indictment of the Somali community in Minnesota, saying that they're taking it too far or they're being concerned about their security systems? Like, are you serious, dude?
It's the strangest place I've ever been to get healthcare. Just a bunch of different places. Healthcare here, healthcare right here, another healthcare company right here. There are 3 healthcare companies inside of this building right here in this room of 7C. Now we have another helping hand.
Like, dude, you realize this is an office building where people with different people that work at different companies go to their office, right?
Home Care LLC, another healthcare company. Present Help right here. We're looking for the best rates of healthcare here inside this building because we have so many options. Who can we talk about getting the best healthcare?
I don't know.
No?
Sorry.
All right. We will not.
Dude, keep it in mind, this guy's like, he spent the entire video asking, show me the children. He asked the one person for a card. He asked someone to fill out forms for his son. Then he gets into a place where there's like someone in the fucking waiting room waiting to have a meeting or like a conference with someone that discuss their healthcare, ignores them. Oh, there's people sitting in chairs in the waiting room. I'm gonna ignore it. Oh, there's forms on the desk, on the secretary's desk for me to fill out to actually like apply for healthcare. I'm going to ignore it and just ask a nonsensical question about, oh, I noticed there's a lot of different healthcare companies in this building. Which one? How do I find out which one's the best? That's what he asks the fucking secretary, who works at a healthcare company there. And she's like, I don't know. What? That's a stupid fucking question. Jesus Christ. How do I find out which? Dude, imagine if you walk in to like, I don't know, there's so many buildings, right, that have different offices. Like it's a dentist office. You walk through this building, there's like a financial thing. There's like maybe a restaurant downstairs. You walk up, there's like there's like a corporate office building. You walk through, you get to the dentist's office. You walk in there, you're like, yeah, I saw that there's a bunch of different businesses here. How do I find out which one's the best? You'd be stared at like he just was. First of all, he's wearing sunglasses inside too. Oh my God, this guy's such a piece of work. I'm getting triggered about
Not
this.
get any healthcare here. David, this is one of the stranger places I've ever been. Literally, healthcare every door you go to.
No, it's
yet nobody will give you a rate.
No, it's not, dude. We read the side. It was like 5 things out of 25 different offices. 5 of them were healthcare.
How much money do you think's been funneled through this building?
Every year, I would say 50 to 60 million at least.
Yeah, no, you're right. She said the kids aren't here. There's kids coming at 2 p.m.
And finally, we were accepted into one of the daycare centers, and they actually took down our information to give us a rate. However, when we left, we were then met with the police.
We received a complaint that...
Oh, dude, they fucking called the cops on him. Oh my God. So the harassment, the degradation of community that these people have set out to find, it turned out that they were the ones that were harassing and degrading the community all along. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. It's the friends, it's the harassment we made along the way, the fraud we made along the way.
Gentlemen, matching your description, we're in this building harassing the individuals who stay here.
Oh, we're checking out the rates for healthcare. Because there's 14 healthcare companies inside this building, so.
Okay.
Well, that's not what he said. He said there's 14 companies here, and he's trying to assume because they're Somali providers, everyone here is fraudulent.
Okay.
So he's here with some kind of like propaganda.
No, we're just.
Oh, dude, getting called out. Oh my God, I love this video.
Just check. No, this is a area that we're allowed to enforce trespassing ordinance. Is there any other reason that you guys are here?
Well, we were checking rates.
No, he's not.
We were checking rates. We asked for rates.
No, you're not.
Okay. I'm gonna have, if you guys are all good, we're gonna step outside and we
look at how many fucking goons he has with him too. Like, who is this guy? Who's this old man in skinny jeans and like a shiny black jacket?
So, all right, we're getting escorted out right now. The police have arrived. We're checking out the rates.
Look at him. He's hiding his face too.
What was happening inside this building? No one would really speak with us. We did go inside the one.
Dude, what do you mean no one would speak with you? You went inside a daycare center, filed out forms. You went inside another center. You were talking to her and was like, how do I find out what's the best place in here?
Daycare center, and she actually did give us rates for childcare. Much respect to that lady. What's the problem, officer?
Well, so again, we've been getting reports from multiple individuals that you guys were harassing individuals who work here. At the end of the day, this is private property, and it's one that people are allowed to ask you to leave, and it's also one the Minneapolis Police Department is allowed to enforce trespassing ordinance at this address.
Yeah.
So
as we got escorted out of this building, the Somalis filmed us as we left. And we headed over to the next building.
As you're filming them, you're trying to film their children, bro. What do you okay. What do you mean as the Somalis filmed us?
Had 22 of the same home health care providers.
Dude, the fucking nerve of this guy to act like he's the victim for being filmed when he spent the entire fucking day harassing people. Holy shit. Okay, we're gonna skip the second building. Where are the children? Let's watch this segment.
And this is the building right here. So this building alone made $2.6 million. Let's see if anybody's inside. Now we're inside of the building where there's apparently 4 childcare centers.
We met this lady and we followed her to the back of the building where the daycare was supposedly at.
So right here we have 2 child daycare
Why would you do that?
centers. We have the Minnesota
God,
Child
these guys just look. The vibes are fucked on them.
Care Center, and then we also
They're
have
like,
Nuna.
both of them are just hanging there with their mouths like agape, just like mouth breathing. Where? Show me the kids. I've got David here. What's this? Hold on, David. Fucking yeah. God, what the fuck is this? What? Wait, Dave.
2.66 million. Hello. Hi.
Dude, why are you trying to get in? Oh my God.
We would like to know.
Well, it says we're trying to figure out 102 children. Is that for this facility?
What is the name of the facility?
It's from the state of Minnesota website. It says you have 102 children here in your child care.
Which child care name is a lot of
Minnesota Child Care right here. It's from the state of Minnesota's website. We're just wondering where the children are.
Where the children are?
Yeah, where are the children? It says you have 102 children here, and you got $2.66 million this year in funding, and $2.5 million last year. We're just wondering where the kids are.
And who are you?
My name's Nick Shirley.
Nick Shirley.
And where are you?
David says my name's Nick Shirley too.
Which department? That is harassment.
Oh, we are from ourselves.
Yeah.
Hello, we'd like to ask where the money's going.
Bro,
look at that.
You can't fucking try to open the door. Oh my God, look at their fucking satisfaction. We did it. We harassed another Somali daycare center.
Down. Where are the children at? No children inside of this daycare center. And look at this daycare center right here. No children inside of this daycare center. But between those buildings, over $2.6 million. We were just curious, where are the children at? Do you know where the children are at? Where are the children at in these daycare centers?
I don't care.
How can these child care centers have no children?
Why the fuck would she care? Like, she's just trying to get to her car and drive home.
No.
There's $2.6 million inside these businesses that were given by the government, but there's no children to be seen anywhere. People deserve to know where their taxes are going. If these companies and these daycare centers are making upwards of $2.6 million and there's no children to be seen anywhere, something fraudulent.
Look at the sign. It literally says visitors, sorry, no entry if no face mask. He's trying to yank open the door.
Is happening. And that is not make you racist, Islamophobic.
It does not make you racist.
This is just the truth of what's happening here in Minnesota. If there's a bunch of white people doing the same thing, we'd be talking about the same issue.
You're not talking about the white people doing it. You're not going to white people daycares and asking them where the children are. Why don't you do that? Go to a white person daycare, go to a daycare in a white neighborhood and say, where are the children? See, Why don't you do that? Please tell me there's part 2, right? Where the part where he goes to a white person's daycare. That's going to be a part, right?
This is just fraud at unprecedented levels here inside Minnesota. It's actually very concerning. Where are the children at inside of these buildings? They're nowhere to be seen. Millions of
You do realize it's like 6 p.m. there, right?
dollars are being sent into these daycare centers all across Minnesota, and there's not a child to be seen anywhere.
This guy's vibes are fucked. Like, it sounds like he has saliva in his mouth that he's just not swallowing.
Here's another daycare center inside this same building.
We don't want you to be videotaping anything.
Where is all the money going for if there's no children at these daycare centers?
Sir.
Yes.
I told you, please leave.
Yes, we have a question though. Where is the children at these daycare centers if there's millions of...
Dude, just like, you can't beat the criminal allegations for this guy. Just trespassing onto a daycare property, being like, where are the kids, where are the kids, where are the kids?
Dollars.
Ask me the local government, yeah.
Oh, we've asked. We have the paper here. So we're wondering where the
we
money...
have the paper here.
And where the children are at.
Dude, please call the fucking
We have
police.
the paper right here. Come here.
Who are you, first of all?
My name's Nick Shirley.
You don't have any permission to record me, period.
Can we talk outside?
You don't have permission to record.
She doesn't either have... She doesn't have permission to record me.
No, you cannot stop people on the street and question them.
We can ask...
You don't have any permission.
Where are the children?
I will sue you. You don't have any permission. We have...
Well, dude, now you're in a video with 2.3 million views. Let's see if Nick Shirley gets anything coming his way.
Have nothing to do with this. You
okay.
Understand?
Then are there
so leave, please.
Dude, this fucking putz. David, you're such a bitch, man. Just standing there silently pointing at the paper. Is this one of David's is this one of David's experiences where he had his life in danger? Remember, he's like, I had my life in danger many times. He's just standing there. But the paper says fraud.
Please leave.
Are there children here?
Please leave.
Where are the children? $2.6 million for a daycare center.
You ask whoever you think is doing that. You don't know what you're talking about. So leave.
Tell us what's happening here then.
I said leave.
We're wondering what's happening.
We are not a child care. We are nothing to do with it. We're common people walking. And
yes.
You are,
we're not accusing you. We're asking where the children are at.
Don't ask me anything.
We're not accusing you. We're asking the daycare centers.
You literally just asked him.
I'm not gonna answer. You have.
Where are the children at?
Leave. Leave.
We just want to know where are the children.
Who you work for?
My name's Nick Shirley.
Who do you work for?
I work for myself, Nick Shirley.
Okay, what are you recording?
We're wondering where are the children? $2.66 million for
You're not talking to
the Minnesota
right
Child Care Center.
You're not talking to the right.
It's just a fucking Word document that the guy printed off. Oh my god. Bro, did David is David just getting some kind of information from like an anonymous blog or something? Like, what is this information that David has?
Are there children that come here? Answer the question. Are there children? There's no children inside this building.
I don't know who you're talking to.
That's just a simple question. Where are the children at? David, they won't even answer. We asked him. Plain and simple. Where are the children? Do children come here?
This is why I've had my life. I've been attacked twice. Once with a knife, and the other time I was jumped last Saturday by 3 Somali men.
Bro, I thought these were years ago. It was last Saturday. He got jumped last Saturday. Well, you're looking good, David. You got a Wolverine's healing factor. I don't see a bruise or a hair out of place on your body. Actually, it looks like you got a fresh haircut for this video. Bro, he got jumped last Saturday.
Simply for asking questions about what was going on. And they're very, very violent people. They do not like this fraud to be exposed.
We're not racist, but these are very violent people.
After giving this man plenty of opportunities to answer the simple question.
Notice how much violence they used, right? Shutting the door on you, not letting you in, calling the cops because you're harassing and trespassing, and then telling you to leave because you're, once again, harassing and trespassing. That's the violence that you've received on this whole entire excursion.
Where are the children? He called the cops on us and we headed to the state capitol where they're having a meeting about the fraud to confront the state representatives and people in the government who have enabled and let this fraud happen. Inside of this committee, a Republican representative showed charts showing exactly how this fraud has been committed and who is profiting and connecting all the dots. And while the Democrat representatives looked into the abyss, one of them spoke about how none of this is building trust and how this is a nonpartisan issue. So I went,
Don't come at me with your mumbling or can't understand subtitles when you slur your words like you just got hit in the head by a 2x4.
confronted her after that.
Yes, but he has some very valid questions to ask about what's going on here in Minnesota. And do you think this fraud
I don't know who
crosses?
you are.
My name is Nick Shirley.
Okay.
Do you think this fraud is Republican or Democrat, or just facts that fraud is happening?
I think the fact that
Because
you're talking about it as a partisan issue.
Well, because that's what I heard you
shows
talking
me-
about. That
I know what I said is that
because
what we're talking
we want
about
to build
is
we want to build trust, but fraud is fraud. So why should we be enabling fraud to happen here?
no. I don't think anybody is enabling fraud to happen.
Hold Governor Walz accountable for this.
Okay, sir.
No. This
Sir,
is not.
sir.
When are you going to hold?
Bro, this guy's we found the even more unhinged version of David right now. When are you going to hold Governor Walz accountable for this? Dude, they're investigating fraud right now.
Governor Walz, no. She is a representative for the state of Minnesota. Yes or no?
Excuse me.
Yes. Are you?
If you're gonna talk to me like
Are
that,
you going to say to her, I'm a disability advocate?
Dude, you actually need. I get overstimulated. That's his excuse for like. I don't know. His energy levels are very high right now. Let's just say that.
I heard you, and
I get
we've got a chance
overstimulated.
to testify.
Thank you for testifying today. No.
Ma'am, the facts are the facts that fraud is happening here, and it's not a nonpartisan issue. How come you think fraud has been able to happen so much underneath
I think
the
if you've
government
been
here?
listening to our
Bro, this guy's actually fucking moronic. Like, he's asking the stupidest questions. How fraud? The facts are the facts, and fraud is happening here. How can you allow fraud to keep happening? Dude, he
Fraud is
sounds
happening.
like a little stupid second grader.
Here, and it's not a nonpartisan issue.
It's not a nonpartisan issue.
How come you think fraud has been able to happen so much underneath
I think
the
if you've
government
been
here?
listening to our hearings, we've had now 10 hearings.
Like, how do you think fraud has been able to happen?
On this. And so there's really good data from the people who both work within the administration as well as who both Democrat and Republicans. I think
Yes.
what you heard today is that the Republicans who control this committee are not actually interested in solving fraud. What they're interested in
Well,
is telling a story.
This fraud has happened underneath Democrat leader Tim Walz.
There has been Medicaid fraud across the country under Democrats and Republicans. There's fraud within the Trump administration.
Oh, dude, she's spitting the facts.
We have is fraud.
Like, Nick Shirley, do you want to make a YouTube video about how Donald Trump cutting off child care subsidies to Minnesota is actually going to make finding fraud harder because they're not going to pay the people that are in charge of finding fraud?
Private providers have made government a mark. And so every person running government, Democrats or Republicans,
Public-private providers have made government into, like, the patsy, and they're the ones that are really the source of the fraud. That's why public-private partnerships are not good.
are dealing with the issue of how to keep fraudsters out of our public payment. We're also dealing with veterans. We're dealing with consumers. I hope you're looking at that. If you look at United Health, currently is being charged with defrauding Medicare. You know who runs Medicare? President Trump. Medicaid fraud is a 50-state issue.
Dude,
And
she's
so,
laying
again,
down the
It is
law.
not a partisan issue. There are Democrats and Republicans who are sitting in that committee talking about it. But what you did here was the Republican chair say she's not turning information over to the one person in government who can stop payment. And I hope you print that.
Thank you for coming today.
Okay.
Crazy.
Well, you
This
saw what
is
happened
the
there?
state of Minnesota that we live in, and these politicians are just walking off, thinking it's okay Tuesday, and they want to go visit the.
Bro, this guy's saucy. Oh my god, you hear him coming from across the... Yeah, no, this guy's eyes just glazed over. You hear the fucking, like, saucy-ass reporter, I guess he's a reporter, from across the fucking room. You get him picked up on the mic. Then he just walks in mid-rant. He enters frame mid-rant. Which, first of all, let me just say, she did not just walk away on him. There's walking away, and then there's talking to someone while you're walking. And then she finished what she had to say and left. Dude, that was a very clear interview that she gave. And pointed him towards resources, pointed him towards other stories of fraud, talked about the actual issues of people defrauding the government, like United Health defrauding Medicare, talking about how the Republicans don't actually even want to solve fraud. Republican policies are making fraud harder to solve. And then she left him with that and is like, well, I hope you look into that and do a story about that too. All right, I'm gone. And then this guy walks in mid-rant.
Well,
You
saw what happened
the
there?
state of Minnesota that we live in, and these politicians are just walking off, thinking it's okay Tuesday, and they want to go visit the Trump. They want to blame the Trump administration. We have Democrats blaming ICE. I'm tired. My people are suffering.
Bro, this guy's awesome. Oh my God, this guy's awesome. This made the video worth it.
I'm scared for my little brother. My people are suffering, and these people just walk off. We have a governor who fucking doesn't care. How many
Literally adjudicating the biggest fraud in Minnesota history.
more people are gonna freaking die? How many more people are gonna go homeless? And how many more people
What is he talking about?
are gonna be trafficked in our freaking system?
Oh my God, that was great. Oh God, that was so good. Billions to be wasted. Yeah, not talking about like the $50 billion we've given Israel, not talking about all the money that we gave Argentina, all the money we're using to bomb Venezuela right now. But no, it's we're giving Somalis too much money. This is what journalists used to do 20 years ago. Okay. Oh, what is it? Is it New Year's Eve tonight? Is that what it is? Is it fucking New Year's Eve? Oh my God, guys. Oh my God. Okay, listen. Listen to me. Nick Shirley. 2.5 million views. Inside the Muslim versus Christian battle. What the fuck is this? Muslims versus Christian growing in America. Well, guys, listen. I'm trying to do that podcast with Comrade Casey and Anthony from the Do Not Worry podcast. So that will be fun. I guess we're going to be back next week. Holidays were like busy for people. Yeah, sorry I haven't been streaming as much. I'm busy with the holidays, busy trying, like, I'm going to try to find a more consistent streaming schedule for everyone because I definitely miss it. There have been so many stories that I've been putting off talking about because I wanted to do it on stream, and then I just, like, miss doing it because it's like, okay, well, now it's been a long time since these stories came out. So there's a lot of shit, but yeah, I'm going to try to be back on more often than not. So I'm going to call it for today, but thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you have ideas that you think would be fun to do kind of like a counter video to this, don't really want to go to I don't want to go to daycares. I don't want to go harass random people that are just working their secretary jobs or whatever. So I don't really want to just like do a repeat of what he did, except actually talking to people. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you all later.